Hello and welcome to this India Today special. It's been a week where a slice of history has been created with Rishi Sunak becoming the first non-white Prime Minister of the United Kingdom of Indian origin. And in this extra special week, we have a special guest with us because joining us now is the British Foreign Secretary, who is in India for the Counter-Terrorism Centre Conference of the United Nations, James Cleverly. Welcome to India.
Thank you.
And you come in a week, as I said, which is historic. Is this to be seen purely as symbolism or a visual representation, as Mr. Sunak called it in his conversation with Mr. Modi, that you have a Prime Minister of Indian origin? What does it mean beyond the symbolism?
Well, I think the thing that your viewers need to understand is that Rishi Sunak is incredibly well respected in the British system. He was the Chancellor during the COVID pandemic. He took very bold and decisive, difficult decisions economically, but was instrumental in making sure that businesses stayed afloat, that people were able to keep a roof over their heads and put food on the table, and very, very well respected in our system. It is a historic moment, of course it is, but he was chosen because of his talent, because of his intellect, because of his track record, and the fact that he is the first, as you say, non-white Prime Minister of the UK is a moment for celebration, but we've still got real work to do, so we're going to be focusing on that.
Yeah, let's come to that real work in a moment, because beyond the symbolism, there's the realism. For example, between India and the United Kingdom, the free trade agreement. We were told that an FTA would be in place by Diwali. We don't have an FTA in place now. Is that because of political instability in your country? Is it because there are niggling issues that remain, which perhaps have delayed the agreement? What explains the delay in the FTA?
Well, look, we had both hoped to get the deal done by Diwali, but ultimately a free trade agreement with a significant economic player like India was always going to take some time. We have got a lot of work done, and you often you don't see how much has been achieved, and we've achieved a lot. And now we're at the stage where there are still a few outstanding issues that we need to resolve. We want to make sure that we get a free trade agreement that works for the British economy, works for the Indian economy, is focused on the future, where India is going, and represents what the UK's strategic policy is, which is to focus increasingly on the Indo-Pacific, and of course India is an incredibly important part of that, the UK's strategic aim.
You know, but as you look ahead to that roadmap, and there's been so much talk of by 2030 you'll have a roadmap where trade will be $100 billion, but there are niggling issues that I come back to. Immigration, for example. Home Secretary Braverman, her comments on immigration, suggesting that Britain will have a tougher immigration policy, both under Liz Truss, now under Rishi Sunak, send perhaps mixed signals, because you've got a free trade agreement that you're building towards, which will loosen up visa restrictions, and yet the Home Secretary talks about restricting immigration. Make sense of that for us here in India, because that remains a contentious issue.
Look, and I completely understand that, and things of real value are never done quickly, and they're never easy, but a stronger bilateral trading relationship with India is something that's very, very well worth our effort. When it comes to those migration issues, I think it's important to understand that having control of your immigration policy is not the same as just closing the door. We want to make sure that the incredibly talented Indian entrepreneurs that I had breakfast with yesterday are able to come to the UK, are able to do business with our business, invest, receive investment from the UK. We want to make sure that that is quick and convenient and easy, and encourages that flow of talent in both directions. And we can do that while still having real control over our borders. So they're not mutually exclusive, but of course it is something that takes a bit of work. But there is a real desire, both in Delhi and in Westminster, to get these parts of the FTA resolved, so that we can start harvesting the good news, because a stronger relationship between our two countries is mutually good news.
So are you saying Diwali is gone, but by Christmas, which is about a couple of months away, we will have a FTA in place? Can we say that with some element of confidence?
So I don't want to tempt fate. I don't want to tempt fate. But the fact is that our officials are talking. I spoke about this with Dr. Jaishankar over lunch today. I think there is a mutual desire from our prime ministers, our foreign ministers, and our respective businesses to move this forward, and I'm very much looking forward to doing that.